Okay, for this video, I'm in one of the flooded streams at the property I'm on. My goats are following me, because sometimes they get out, but they usually get back in. Anyway, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Asperger syndrome, a little bit. And about how we like to have routines and rituals. This video making in itself is part of a ritual, routine, that I do. I mean, everyone's is gonna be different who's on the spectrum, and we like doing our routines in a set manner, set ways. We do specific things at specific times or in a specific order. My QE'd system is a little bit complex. I mean, it's evolved over the years. Oops, here I am, 42, so I have a pretty complex way of organizing my life and doing things. So there are certain things I do at specific times, like as soon as I get up from bed and as soon as I come home from work, I'll feed the goats and walk the dogs. So that is done twice a day. That's just an example of something that's done at a specific time. But I also have this list of over 30 things that I do. I just go through that entire list in that order, not in any specific time, but in the order that it's on the list. And every Wednesday morning, I randomize that list using my calculator's randomizing function. So it's in a different order every week, starting on Wednesday mornings. Yeah, and make a video is actually one of the items on that list, and that's what I'm doing right now. So after this, I have some hot cocoa, but actually I'm going to go to bed next. Well, see, I'm a night owl, and even though I work nights, I also tend to go to bed during the afternoon on my off nights as well. So it's a little complicated. But usually about 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon on Wednesdays is when I go to bed. And so, yeah. And then when I wake up, I'll resume my QE'd activities and make some hot cocoa. Yeah. So the QE'd list that I make always gets paused whenever I do something that has a specific time of being done, like going to bed or going to work or feeding the animals. So yeah, my ways of doing things might be a little complicated. Right now, I feel like my thoughts are more organized when I go out and walk in nature, which is what I'm doing. And so it helps me organize my thoughts. So, yeah. Anyway, So, I just had a funny thought. Since I tend to be socially awkward and I don't really hang around with people much, I had a thought, any of those activities have anything to do with hanging out with people? I just had a thought. Funny thought. And really, I don't think there is any. I'm, being on the autistic spectrum, we tend to be highly introverted. So, it doesn't mean we don't like people, it just means we just like to have our own personal space, personal time, I like this wide open space to walk around in. This place I've been renting for about 7.5 years now. Time flies, wow. I'm planning on buying a house someday, and that house better be on some land, like at least 5 acres, if I can afford that. I have to save up for a down payment first. Yep. Which is what I'm doing through investing stocks and cryptocurrency. Yeah. So right now the crypto market's kind of volatile, so there's a little risk in it. So I'm going to mostly try to switch to ETFs. I think that would be a good idea to invest in those. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, and stocks happen to be one of the activities on my list. Investing in stocks. Or see which stocks I should buy or sell. One of the things on my list. Oh, I should talk about the other things on my list too. There's a list of TV shows I watch on streaming services like Hulu, Netflix, and HBO Max and stuff that I listed in alphabetical order. And what I did is, on my QE list, I have 3 different slots for watch a show. And so whenever I come to a show on the QE, I go to the next show on my shows list alphabetically. I don't know if you're following this, but but if not, that's all right. It's just, it's just to tell you it's complicated. Anyway. So, since I have so many shows on the list, that's why I have 3 different shows activities. Shows in the QE. Yeah. And I'm still probably way far behind on some of those shows. Anyway. Yeah. So, I'm sure there's probably other people with Asperger's and other similar autistic spectrum. I'm trying to avoid the word disorder, because I don't think it's disorder. Anyway, so they probably have very similar routines they like to follow. Like maybe follow a list like I do. Or a list within a list, something really complicated, you know? Yeah. Okay, this path is very flooded, but I don't mind. I have rubber boots on, so it's okay. Yep, it's pretty neat. Yeah. It's actually a relatively nice day to be walking out in the woods. So, but I think I've said all I wanted to say about Asperger syndrome and routines and how I do my routines. So, I'll just close it off here.